Welcome to the Tall and Small Baking Channel. Today we're going to be making one of our favourite recipes.
We're going to be making chocolate, blueberry and lime individual heart cakes. Hope you enjoy! For this recipe you'll need 150 grams of butter,
150 grams of sugar,
3 eggs,
150 grams of flour,
a heaped teaspoon of baking powder,
60 grams of chocolate,
a big handful of blueberries,
and lastly 40 grams of cocoa powder. Make sure you wash your hands.
Hygiene and all that. So we popped in 150 grams of butter and 150 grams of sugar. And we're just going to cream them together so they're light and fluffy.
Okay, so this is the kind of consistency and colour that it should be.
Now we're going to add the eggs one by one. And if it starts to curdle, just add a spoonful of flour to the mixture. It should be fine. So now we're going to add the eggs in one at a time, and if it starts to curdle, just add a little bit of flour and it'll be fine. So,
you need it running before you add the egg.
It might look a bit flaky at first, but don't worry.
So that it starts to look better.
So now we're going to add plain flour, which is 150 grams, about a heaped teaspoon of baking powder and 40 grams of cocoa powder. Just add them together. Do this on a lower speed, or if you're doing it by hand, I would fold it. Oh, hello. Okay, yeah.
Every kitchen gets messy.
Chop the chocolate into small chunks, therefore it will melt in the oven and we have an oozy taste. Now, in the meantime, I'm just going to clear up this and get ready to fold in the blueberries and the chocolate.
The chunks need to be about this size.
Now the chocolate's all chopped, pop it into the bowl.
You want to get every last drop. Well, chunk.
We're going to fold this in with the blueberries.
And it's good to give them a good wash beforehand.
If it breaks up inside, that's not necessarily a bad thing, so the juices will run. Nice and shiny. Now we're going to spoon in the mixture into the molds, and this one's a bit different. It's a hard silicone one, but you could just use any cupcake case. I would probably do it about 3/4 up to the top of the sort of mould, if possible.
So this is our batch. But if you've got any leftover mixture like us, you can simply just put it in any cupcake cases or whatever, and you can just cook that up yourself.
Heat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we're going to pop our cakes into the oven for around 12 minutes, but it depends on your oven, so just have a little look. When you know they're done, when if you put your finger on it, it should spring back, or if you put a knife in, it should come out clean.
Cheers to the good baking.
Good baking.
Looks like they're done.
Make sure you let the cakes cool before you take them out of the mould, as they have a tendency to stick.
You know when they're done, when they easily pop out?
We're now going to move on to our lime frosting. So basically what you'll need is 125 grams of icing sugar, 50 grams of normal butter, just a bowl, 1 lime, a couple of drops of vanilla essence, knife obviously, and a whisk and a grater. And you can use a piping bag, which we have here, or you can just spoon it on.
Yeah, so with the method we're going to put the butter, it comes up, with the icing sugar into the bowl. You can do this in the mixer or by hand. This bit's a bit messy, and then just whisk it
Gently
at the start, yeah, stuck in the whisk, until it forms sort of buttercream, I guess. So our piping bag for when we spoon the frosting on top is fitted with a star nozzle. That's completely optional what nozzle you use. Or you know, another method is you can use a sandwich bag and use the corner and spoon it on. Or just, you know, use a spoon. But it just looked quite pretty.
So while we're mixing the icing, we're just going to grate the lime. This zest is going to go actually into the icing, as well as a bit of juice. But it's optional whether you want to put the zest in or not. This gives it the added flavour.
When the butter frosting has come together, add a few drops of vanilla extract for some flavour. It's starting to come together, so we're going to add a few drops of vanilla extract.
I like to just put it in the cap. That's 1, 2. Do you think that'll be enough?
Yeah, because we've got the lime juice, which will add lots of flavour as well. And the zest, of course. Once you get to this sort of clumpy stage, I would add some lime juice to sort of soften it up and give it some flavour.
Okay, so now we need to add the lime in. You could use a juicer, or you could just go with the old-fashioned muscle power. That should do the trick.
So we've got a piping bag and our spoon ready, and it's time to put the mixture inside.
And also, you don't want to overwork it, because otherwise it will just become really horrible.
So I'm going to spoon it in here. I'm going to get our cakes ready.
And they should be just about cooled.
Yep. So when you're spooning the mixture in, if you just grab it with your hand, it will come off like that. It's a really good tip to stop it getting really messy. Bring it back down, and use your fingers to squelch it so there are no air bubbles, and it's ready to pipe. I find if you just twist it here, it stops it from leaking at the top. So now it comes to actually piping it on the cake. We're going to start in the middle, go round, clockwise motion. Right, so this is our finished product. Thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it.
And I hope you enjoy these delicious cakes if you make them at home.
That's Tall and Small Baking with Hannah and Lily.
I think it's now time.
For a well-earned rest. Oh wow.
Ooh, look at that inside.
That's delicious. You have to try this. Oh.